Hari Om, Sri Gurubhyo Namaha. I am Seema Nair, the MC for today's event. Before we start the program, we would like to remind everyone to mute their phones and request people with young children to supervise them during the event. Now, it is a great honor and privilege for me to welcome our renowned gurus, Pujya Swami Tattvamayananda and Pujya Swami Chidananda Puri, as well as our esteemed guests on the auspicious occasion of the inauguration of Sankara Advaithashramam for Global Enlightenment, or SAGE. Now, I request Pujya Swami Tattvamayananda and Pujya Swami Chidananda Puri and our esteemed guests, Ms. Sujata Joshi, Dr. Ramesh Chapra, Mr. Anil Surpur, Ms. Pushpita Prasad, and Ms. Rakhi Islani to please come and sit on the stage. We will start with a prayer song by Sri Lalita and Pavitra.
अखण्डमण्डलाकारं व्याप्तं येन चराचरं तत्पदं दर्शितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णु गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुरेव परं ब्रह्म तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। त्वमेव माता च पिता त्वमेव बन्धुश्च सखा त्वमेव विद्या द्रविणं त्वमेव सर्वं मम देव त्वमेव सर्वं मम देव
Now, I would like to request Ms. Suma Praveen, Treasurer of SAGE, to please give the welcome speech.
Thank you, Seema. My humble pranams to Pujya Swami G Chidananda Puri. My humble pranams to Pujya Tattvamayananda Swami Ji. Namaste to all the distinguished guests, Sujata Ji, Chapra Ji, Anil Ji, Pushpita Ji and Rakhi Ji. And namaste to all of you who are here with us in person and those who are watching online. On behalf of SAGE, first of all, I would like to welcome Pujya Swami Chidananda Puri Ji, who is the founder of Advaithashramam, Kolattur, Kerala, and the permanent director of SAGE. Swamiji has traveled all the way from Kerala to spread his immense knowledge in Vedanta and Sanatana Dharma and other Shastras. We are absolutely fortunate to establish this non-profit organization under the guidance and leadership of Swamiji. Swamiji has been traveling to US since 2011, almost every year, and has already traveled to most of the major cities in the US. After listening to Swamiji's inspiring and motivational talks, his followers kept rising every year. For the past years, we had been requesting him to start a non-profit organization in the US, but Swamiji always said, "We'll see next time." And finally, Swamiji agreed, and that's how the SAGE was formed. SAGE is being established with the noble vision of fostering spiritual wisdom, promoting interfaith harmony, and contributing to global enlightenment through the profound philosophy of Advaita Vedanta, as expounded by the revered Adi Shankaracharya. We believe that in these challenging times, the timeless wisdom of Advaita holds immense potential to guide individuals and societies towards peace, unity, and self-realization. It is with great reverence and excitement that I now welcome Pujya Swamiji once again to this auspicious occasion. I would like to welcome Pujya Swamiji Tattvameyananda, who has been providing guidance to us since the very beginning of SAGE. Last year, we had a retreat in Saratoga, which was led by Chidanandapuri Swamiji, and Tattvameyananda Swamiji inaugurated the event. It was during that time we had the opportunity to share our thoughts with him about starting a new organization. He was incredibly happy to hear that a non-profit, especially under the guidance of Chidanandapuri Swamiji, was much needed for this society. His encouragement and support were instrumental in bringing SAGE to life, and we are deeply grateful for his faith in our mission. Once again, I would like to welcome Pujya Swamiji Tattvameyananda and bless us with this auspicious ceremony. I would like to warmly welcome our distinguished guests who have been the pillars of support for our community. First, Sujata Joshi, who has provided tremendous support to us in every possible way. With all respect, I would like to welcome Sujata Ji to this auspicious ceremony. We have Dr. Jabra Ji, a senior cardiologist, as most of you might know, and Jabra Ji plays a vital role in promoting Hindu activities and has been a driving force behind so many important initiatives. Your leadership is an inspiration to all of us. I'm honored and privileged to welcome Jabra Ji. Anil Ji, who is such a humble and kind person, last year during the retreat, we had approached Yoga Bharati and we were directed to Ashwini Ji, who is the wife of Anil Ji. And we requested if Yoga Bharati could conduct early morning yoga sessions for us. Without a second thought, Ashwini Ji said yes, and Anil Ji himself came to provide us the yoga sessions. From the bottom of my heart, I would like to welcome Anil Ji. Pushpita Ji, I'm part of Koichene WhatsApp groups and have been following your incredible work. Your proactive communications, leadership and advocacy, representing the voices and interests of Hindus in the US are inspiring. I would like to welcome you and ask for your support. Rakhi Ji, as the lead of Seva International's College Preparedness Academy, you have been providing tremendous support, especially to the youth. I would like to welcome you to this auspicious ceremony and thank you for all your support. Now, I would like to welcome SAGE's Board of Directors and Board of Trustees. They're all in different parts of the US and Canada, and they are watching it online. And lastly, but not the least, I would like to welcome all of you who are here to witness this memorable occasion and those who have joined us online from various parts of the globe. We are planning to start SAGE California chapter, and your support is absolutely critical. Without it, SAGE cannot move forward. I urge all of you to become part of this organization and support our mission in any ways you can. Thank you.
I would now like to request the esteemed guests on the stage to light the lamp and inaugurate the organization, Sankara Advaithashramam for Global Enlightenment, or SAGE. It is a true honor to welcome Puji Swami Chidanandapuri, a revered teacher of Vedanta, an inspiring orator, prolific author, and a dedicated social reformer. In 1989, on the sacred day of Mahashivratri, Swamiji received Sannyasa Diksha from Brahmalina Param Puja Swami Vidyanandagiri Maharaj, the 10th Acharya of Kailasashramam, Rishikesh, and became the disciple of Brahmalina Param Puja Swami Vimalananda Puriji Maharaj, the second Acharya of Madhavananda Ashram in Gujarat. Just a few years later, in 1992, Swamiji founded Advaithashramam in the rural village of Kolattur in Kerala. Today, as the founder and managing trustee of the Sri Shankara Charitable Trust, he oversees 12 branches across India, serving as a vibrant center for Vedanta studies and Sanatana Dharma. Swamiji's leadership extends far beyond Sashram. He serves as president of both the Margadarshak Mandal and the Kerala Dharmacharya Sabha, as managing trustee of the Madhavananda Ashram Gaushala Trust in Gujarat, and as trustee of the Adi Shankara Samskritika Ekta Nyas in Madhya Pradesh, among many other roles. He also has been chair for Sanatana Dharma Studies and a visiting professor at the University of Calicut. As chief editor of Advaithashramam Satsangam, a monthly Malayalam magazine, and as the author of more than 60 published books, Swamiji continues to share the timeless wisdom of Vedanta with depth and clarity. His work and teachings have touched lives not only in India but across the globe. Recognized with numerous prestigious awards from dharmic organizations, Swamiji stands as a beacon of spiritual knowledge, compassion, and service. Now, I would like to humbly request Puji Swami Chidanandapuri Ji to give the introductory speech.
गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुसाक्षात् परं ब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। ॐ सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। Namaste to all. Pranams at the lotus feet of Pujya Tattvamayananda Ji. And namaste to all our chief guest. Actually, we don't have guest. We all are one, working for one cause through different ways and organizations. All of us are working for a common cause, and that is conceived thousands and thousands of years back, which we can see clearly written in the Samhita portion of Rigveda itself. Krunanto Vishwamaryam. We can all together make the whole world great. This is a responsibility given to all of us. For this, we all are working together through different ways, in different organizations. But our aim, our goal is one, and it should be one, making the world great. How it is possible? Through spreading the message of Bharat. Not the message of India, I am saying. You cannot bring India to America. You cannot take India to Australia. You cannot take India to Europe. But you can take Bharat to the whole world. And when we try to learn the contributions of our rishis, we will see in different areas, different branches of science, innumerable contributions they made, which we cannot even count. Not only in yoga and Ayurveda, which are very popular nowadays, in many other branches of science, the contributions of our rishis are great, and the vision Bharat gave to the world and it inculcated inside is a vision of harmonious growth, all inclusiveness, acceptance and assimilation. But at the same time, it is a vision that is along with saying that of assimilation and acceptance. It's a vision of strength, the inner strength and the outer strength. A healthy coming together of Kshatra Vidya and Brahma Tejas. Happy blend of Yogeshwara Krishna and Dhanurdhara Partha. And therefore we had Shanti mantras, we had Shakti mantras. Even as a part of Veda itself, Dhanurveda was and is there. So this vision, based on Veda, we have to take to the whole world. And the main message we get from the whole of our Shastra, there is no doubt, is the message of Dharma. Dharma is that which is holding everything together, right from a subatomic particle to the grossest universe. So this message of Dharma we have to spread everywhere, and for that, so many organizations are working. We are with us Pujya Swami G, who is the main Acharya in the language of this land, Minister-in-Chief of San Francisco Vedanta Center. This was established by Swamiji Vivekananda Ji himself. Like that, so many Vedanta studies, Vedanta centers are there in America, Europe, Australia, Africa, everywhere. Everywhere in the globe, we will see centers of Vedanta Society, part of Ramakrishna order. In the same way, so many acharyas, Shivanandaji, and disciples of Shivanandaji, and Chinmayanandaji, disciples of Chinmayanandaji, so many acharyas. When we name some acharyas, of course, we will fail to name some others, and it is not good. And so we can say this much, so many acharyas established many centers of Vedanta teaching and Dharma Shastra teaching all over the world. Along with that, institutions of Tantra Shastra also comes. Those who are teaching yoga, Veda, all these are there. So many organizations are there working. And along with that, so many social organizations. After the inception of Rashtriya Swayamsevak Sangh, which is working outside Bharat in the name of Hindu Swayamsevak Sangh, and many organizations under that umbrella organizations are working in different names for different goals to fulfill. And along with that, so many organizations are there for a common cause, with a great aim. And as a part of our Sanatana Dharma activities, I was here from 2011. Every year I visited here. And it was from 2017, some of the well-wishers of Advaita Ashram asked to start at least a chapter here in America. I said no. Then when I came in 2018, many from New York side insisted we must start at least a chapter on an organization here. Again, I said no, because we don't have that much resources, you see, mainly human resources. To start something is very easy. It is not a big affair. But make it run. For the namesake, it is all right. If we are genuinely interested, then it is not that much easy. Especially when we are speaking about teaching Vedanta in the traditional way. We must have acharyas here, and we don't have that much resources. Of course, even now we have 12 different ashrama centers in Bharat, and all are working as centers of Vedanta studies. And Brahmacharis and Sannyasins who are initiated from our ashram are working actively there. So we don't have people to send to America. So I said no. Again, when I came next year, some well-wishers of Advaita Ashram from Seattle, they insisted we must start. Then when I came here in California, or Sumaji and Pravinji all were saying, we must start a center. Again, my reply was the same, no. But when I came in 2023, so many practical aspects of Sanatana Dharma and of course it is great that yoga and Vedanta are taught everywhere. And nowadays yoga is a moving force, not only in America, but everywhere in the world. But at the same time, we are moving away from tradition, we are moving away from Shastras. And see, I met a group in Greece. Of course, that group came from America to teach and learn yoga, and they were having brandy yoga, whiskey yoga, and rum yoga. What all these yogas, I don't know. In our Shastras, we cannot see that. If that is the case, how our Shastras are being taken away from the right path. So, many organizations are working, but there is some more space. And finally we decided, and last year when I met Swami G, I discussed with Swami G, and he also gave the positive sign. So we registered an organization, and of course, this is only a beginning. To begin with, there must be somebody to register and all, to meet the what we call the legal purposes. There must be somebody to begin. Such a beginning has done. Now we all together must take it forward. Now, for the time being, all our board members are from different states of America. Only one from California, one from New York, one from Florida, one from Georgia, one from Ohio. Like that, from different states, one member is there, and of course one from Canada, like that. So this is only a beginning. For a beginning, such a organization setup has been made, and when we go forward, we must all come together and work together. Our aim is one, only one, and that is spread Sanatana Dharma based on Vedanta. So Vedanta is the traditional way, and based on that, spreading Sanatana Dharma. For that many are working, we also can work. So I discussed this matter with so many in the HSS and the Dharma Civilization Foundation. So all were one in their voice. It will be a great starting, and we all are with you. We will be a part of this. We will cooperate in all your activities. That words we got from almost all leaders of HSS and Dharma Civilization Foundation and all. So this is only a beginning. Now no center is there. In America, no center at all. Only an organization. So this is in the very, very primary stage of its growth. So this is only as an introductory speech. I explained all this. I'm not going to talk for a long time. So in this auspicious occasion, we have all these people who are working actively to research and rejuvenate our Sanatana Dharma, and all who are sitting here on the stage and off the stage, all are working in their own way to research Sanatana Dharma. I need not mention those who are sitting here. Everybody know what their activities are. In the same way, there are many who are sitting there actively leading Hindu organizations. There are many, and therefore I am not going to name one or two, but there are many in this hall. So we all together will work together for this great cause. And let this be a humble beginning, and with the blessings of our acharyas and best wishes of all well-wishers, the sage, if it is required, let me repeat once more, if it is required, grow. And if it is not required, then all right. If the activity of sage, what is concealed, is required here, it will grow. And for that, we must have Sankalpa first, because from Sankalpa comes Srishti. All the Srishtis, all the creations come from Sankalpa. So let us have Shubha Sankalpas, as Veda itself asks us to do, that me mana Shiva Sankalpa mastu. With the Shiva Sankalpa, we can work together, we can go together. Namaste.
Thank you, Swamiji. Now, we are deeply honored to welcome Pujya Swami Tattvamayananda, the Minister in charge of the Vedanta Society of Northern California in San Francisco, an institution originally founded by none other than Swami Vivekananda in 1900. From a young age, Swamiji immersed himself in the study of Hindu scriptures, Sanskrit, and the vast treasures of Vedic and Vedantic literature. Over the years, he has served in various centers of the Ramakrishna Order in India, sharing his knowledge as an editor, publisher, and teacher. Before coming to the US, Swamiji was a faculty member at the training center in Belur Math, the headquarters of Ramakrishna Mission. He's a well-known speaker on yoga, Vedanta, and traditional Hindu scriptures. Now, I would like to humbly request Pujya Swami Tattvamayananda Ji to give the inaugural speech.
ॐ स्थापकाय च धर्मस्य सर्वधर्मस्वरूपिणे अवतारवरिष्ठाय रामकृष्णाय ते नमः। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादं शङ्करं लोकशङ्करम्। At the very beginning, I should apologize that to mention that I won't be present here after this short speech, because I have to go back to my ashrama for some important engagements. Now, Swami Chidananda Buddhi and my association with Swami Chidananda Buddhi started almost the day he arrived in that small tiny village near Calicut, called Kozhikode, Kolattur. And the first time he invited me and Swami Madhananda Ji to go there, the tiny small temple, relics of an ancient temple. And there he started that ashrama. And there was they were holding a Bhagavata Satram there. And that's how I first came in contact with him. So I have watched the slow origin and growth and evolution of his work in Kerala. And it was a great joy for me when he first came to Vedanta Society last year in San Francisco and talked to me about beginning this center. And it's a great joy for me to see so many of you assembled here this year. There is an ancient Vedic statement, Ano Bhadra Davo Yandu Vishwataha. Let noble, auspicious thoughts come from everywhere. So America is a huge country. It's a very important part of this world. And it needs a lot of teachers spreading the message of ancient India, Vedanta, yoga, and so on. And when Swamiji first mentioned to me about his plan to begin an organization and eventually an ashrama here, I was overjoyed. And I'm very happy that I could be present here today on this auspicious occasion, especially when I see so many of you have assembled here. I will narrate one story of how Vedanta Society itself came to be founded by Vivekananda 125 years ago. We are celebrating the 125th anniversary of Vedanta Society of San Francisco. And you know how Swami G started Vedanta Society. On April 14, 1900, Swami Vivekananda was holding a class in the city, and then some of the devotees requested him to begin a permanent institution, organization. That's how Vedanta Society came to be founded. And now this year we have been holding a lot of celebrations. And in the last celebration we had in Lima, Memorial Day, we had more than 800 people from all over the United States and Bay Area especially who came and assembled. I remember you'll be happy to know that of the more than 800, 700 were Americans. So that means Vedanta should not be limited to Indian diaspora. It's not that frequently I see Swamijis coming from India, from different organizations and institutions. Somebody coming from Gujarat and Gujarati Association will hold a meeting. They will eat Gujarati food, speak Gujarati language. So this piece of Gujarati is transplanted to the soil of America. But Vivekananda had a higher vision. The idea of Bharat is much bigger than the idea of India. India is a geographical concept. Bharat is a cultural and spiritual concept. So it is very relevant that new organizations are coming up in this country, especially in the Bay Area, which has a huge Indian diaspora. I myself have encountered many interesting experiences while talking to American academics. I shall finish quickly when I go back to San Francisco. On a few occasions, some professors, academics from Stanford, where I've been holding classes for the last almost 12 years for Hindu Association programs for Stanford University. Now it's an online program. We used to go every week. Now it's an online program. So some academics told me when Indian youngsters come to America, and when some of our well-educated American professors put them a question, do you know anything about yoga, Gita, Vedanta? We don't know anything. They would be very happy to pretend to be the distant cousins of George Washington. Then American professors tell them, look here, you will get respect in this country only if you identify with your own culture, your own tradition. You should have something to bring here to this country. The Italians brought their music, the French brought their cuisine, the British brought their diplomacy, the Germans brought the perfectionism, Japanese brought the patriotism, India can bring spirituality. So you should have something to contribute to the totality of American culture and heritage. You have something much more precious than any of other countries. And you should be proud of that. For that, Indians should learn the art of working together. Remember, India never had a problem. I was teaching history. Academy, I was not a Sanskritist by academic training. I was a professor of history and English linguistics. Sanskrit, we had to study right from my 5th year, all in Veda Samhita, right from Agnimule Gidam up to the last Ruk, Yathasasaha Siddhi, 190th Sukta Rugveda Samhita, 10th Mandala. So that's what I went through right from my infancy. But I will tell you something interesting. If you don't look at Indian history, Indians had only one problem, lack of unity. That everything. Look at the way the British conquered India. Every single battle was fought by the British with the help of Indians against fellow Indians. I can narrate one incident, then I shall conclude. After the first battle of Nepal War, the Scottish Highlanders, the most elite regiment of the British Army, was decimated by the Gurkhas, who had only kukris, not even infantry rifles. Lord Dalhousie was the Governor General. He was walking up and down. This is mentioned in the India office correspondence between Indian viceroys and Governor Generals and India office in London. So when they reported that the British Scottish Highlanders were decimated, His Majesty, His Lordship walked up and down and said, henceforth the Gurkhas shall fight on our side. What it means is they want Indians to fight for them, to work for them, to do everything for them. Because Indians never had a sense of unity, coordination, working for a common cause. Things are far better now, for obvious reasons, which I don't want to go into details into. Things are far better now. Indians only have to learn one lesson: unity, nothing else. I shall conclude this by a quotation by Vivekananda. It comes in Colombo Dalmora lectures, and there is no better authority on Indian history and culture than Vivekananda. If you want to know anything about India, turn to Vivekananda. Inspiration, turn to Vivekananda. No better source. Even the Swami Chinmayananda, Swami was mentioning, Chinmayananda Ji said that he got inspiration from Vivekananda. Swami Vivekananda says, he says, the reason why the British conquered this country, and the reason is not far to seek, because they taught the lesson: united we stand, divided we fall. Now, Swamiji says the only reason why India lost freedom, its independence, its dignity, was because Indians never had the sense of unity that's needed to preserve their culture and tradition. So when we can come together, work together for the great, glorious culture, not as not national fanaticism or anything, but a sense of cultural pride, a sense of identity with our own spiritual home, that itself is a great force. I'm very happy that all of you have come here. And remember, you can also keep in mind there is a spiritual home founded by Vivekananda, less than 100 miles away from here, San Francisco. If I ask you the question, how many of you have seen the original Vedanta center founded by Vivekananda in 1900? How many of you can say yes? Very few. Not too many. I'm sorry. So you should, wherever you go, wherever you find a symbol of Indian culture and tradition, you should feel that's my place. I belong to that place place belongs to me. That's the only lesson we have to learn from our history. We have everything, all resources we have, only sense of unity we didn't have. So now things are improving. Please remember, Vedanta Society in Northern California, San Francisco, was founded by Swami Vivekananda. Swamiji himself was a brahmachari in one of our ashramas in Coimbatore. He himself sat at the feet of Vivekananda, spiritually, culturally. So the idea of working for a common cause, he came from Vivekananda. That place is far away from here. It is your place. You belong to that place belongs to you. That's the only lesson we have to learn from Vivekananda. And Swamiji is doing a great work to remind you of all these great lessons. Thank you. Namaste. I'm sorry I have to leave now. I wish I could continue here listening to all the distinguished speakers and guests. Thank you so much. Namaste.
Swami Ji. We will now move on to felicitations by our esteemed guests. It is an honor to welcome a visionary leader and community pillar, someone we are all familiar with, Dr. Ramesh Chopra. Dr. Chopra is a well-known cardiologist, cultural entrepreneur, publisher, and a champion of community building. He has been in practice over 40 years as a cardiologist in Northern California. Beyond medicine, Dr. Chopra has spent over 35 years leading impactful community initiatives. As the driving force behind the Federation of Indian Associations of Northern California and the founder of the iconic Festival of Globe, Silicon Valley, he has created platforms that celebrate diversity, unity, and cultural pride, touching hundreds of thousands of lives. Now, please join me in extending a warm and respectful welcome to Dr. Ramesh Chopra.
बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद. ओम तत्सत परमात्मने नमः. First of all, I would like to welcome Puja Swami Chetanand Swami Puriji, coming all the way from Kerala for this global enlightenment, which is so much needed all across the globe, as we all know it. Many of us have been here for decades, have been seeking the enlightenment. I've been fortunate enough, 43 years ago, we could have a Fremont Hindu temple, which used to be a church. There was the first temple we were seeking and we could not get one. And finally, a mayor who used to be my patient, he helped me to get this church, buy this church, and we converted this into a temple. And I've been the chairman, president since then. For the last 43 has been serving there. And 33 years ago, as been mentioned, after the religious and spiritual empowerment, which we've been doing to our children, grandchildren here, we started Festival of India, then Festival Globe, India Day Parade, to bring some nationalism along with Hinduism and our Sanatan Dharma empowerment. And that has been going on for 33 years, like Swamiji mentioned earlier, uniting communities, connecting communities. So in our parade, we have from Kashmir to Kanyakumari, from Kutch to all the way to Arunachal. Every state gets represented. They show their culture, their heritage, their philosophy, their values. And we portray not only just for our children born here, but also non-Desi people who participate in thousands. So we get 50 to 100,000 people. By the way, 16th and 17th, next weekend, it'll be in the Fremont where the 8 lanes get closed, the whole Paseo Padre, and we have this parade, almost 90 entries this year, along with these different Pradesh or states from India, from Bharat. We also have this year many other countries like Myanmar, Tibet, Nepal, even South Korea, Japan, Philippines, Sri Lanka. Many of these other countries are neighboring countries where the Sanatani and Hindu influence has been there, even Buddhist, non-Buddhist, even from China, Taiwan, Hong Kong, they're all joining us. So we want to spread this, our culture, our philosophy, our heritage with everybody else. They have been exposed to it. Many of them got converted, and they have different religions, but they still have the same DNA, same culture, and we are trying to bring them back into the same, like Swamiji mentioned, through yoga, through meditation, through Ayurveda, so many other things we have to offer through our Sanatana Dharma. I think that offerings has to be showcased in different ways, and that's what we try to do. And lately, I won't take too much of your time. We have started Americans for Hindus just a couple of years ago. Now we feel after this empowerment, things still have not gone our way. Things still are changing, not only in America here, but back home also. Many of the states are in front of our eyes, whether it's Kashmir or Bengal or even Kerala, or Tamil Nadu, and now the state I come from, Punjab. Last time I went there, when I went there was only one Muslim family used to live there. I remember during the partition, my father went here to slaughter a lot of these rapists and other people personally. But now, almost 30% in Phagwara, in my state, are Muslims. And they're spreading dharma, anti-dharma. It's okay to live together, as Swami G will tell you. We accept everybody. Acceptance is great. But if they're dharmis, if they are against dharma, and we've been taught, right from Rakshasas to Ravan to Kans to Kauravas and everybody else, and the modern day Rakshasas are terrorists. So we have to take care of them. We have to not only spread, preserve, and promote our culture, our dharma, but also have to protect it. So for protection, we have started this Americans for Hindus, where we have Sikh, Buddhist, Jain, and many other communities, even Jewish communities, and Hispanics, and Black, and everybody else. We're making alliances with them so we can pick candidates from all our organizations. So many of your organizations, whether it's HSS, ONAM, HAF, and many other people, our centers, Vedanta Center, Chinlab centers, and we are picking up candidates through our Hindu Rajniti Academy so that we can help them to represent us. We don't want to be on the menu, we want to be on the table, right from Washington, D.C., the powerhouses in the Capitol, in the White House. We just don't want little presence, but we want a position on the table, and we want our people, they become CEOs in Silicon Valley, whether it's Adobe or Google or Microsoft and everywhere else. Almost 50 top 100, our CEOs are there. But we want our people also become political leaders, represent us, so that we can, through Hindu values, through our Sanatani values, we can help the democracies in the world and spread that message, which is so important. The same enlightenment which Swamiji is bringing, if he can, and it's the same values, they have shared values. Our American Constitution has exactly the same values, which our Hindu values are there, whether it's truth, innovation, collaboration, family values, you just name it. I mean, we all have them, and it's the same thing, which is part of the Constitution. So that's what we try to tell them when we go to those houses. And this is what we bring. We're not here just for our causes, which are very small, whether it's a little vandalism for the temple, or casteism, or genocide, or Hindu hate, or Hindu phobia, or some of these issues are there, but they are not as big. We will take care of them through our political empowerment. But what we're going to be contributing into the political system itself, not for America only, but worldwide. And we want to empower and bring it through the Hindus, not only American Hindus, but the worldwide Hindus. They will take care of Hindus, including in India, Bharat, Bangladesh, Pakistan, Middle East, wherever our Hindu brothers and sisters are, we want to take care of them. So with that message, we are open for our sage for enlightenment, whichever way, through my temple, or our temple, rather your temple, and through our organization, Federation of Indo-Americans, Festival of Globe, our newspaper, India Post, now Americans for Hindus, and many other organizations which I've been involved with. We love to help you out and work with you, because this is very important, global enlightenment. If we get enlightened, only then, as individually, we're going to get empowered, as a group, as a society, as a family, we're going to get empowered, and then we're able to help others. So with that, I would request everybody to join us. In those who are politically inclined, please come on board, or have your children, grandchildren, not only just become doctors and IT professionals, researchers, and businessmen, but also political leaders, so they can represent us in all these houses I mentioned, right from school board level to councils, to counties, to state assembly, to governors, U.S. senators, U.S. congressmen, and the White House. Thank you very much. Namaste.
Thank you, Dr. Chakra. Now, it's my honor to welcome Ms. Sujata Joshi, who is well known as an ambassador of Sanatana Dharma. For over 21 years, Sujata ji has been actively involved with the Hindu Swayamsevak Sangh or HSS, and HSS mission is to organize a diverse and vibrant Hindu American society that can collectively address its challenges and contribute to the welfare of the world. In her dedication to this mission, she has contributed to various community activities through HSS and currently is the director for the North Bay area, working with its 45 chapters. Professionally, Sujata ji is a director at Cisco, where she holds a senior leadership position, driving innovation in the fintech industry. Beyond her corporate role, she is deeply committed to empowering others, dedicating her time to mentoring women in technical positions. Please join me in giving a warm welcome to Ms. Sujata Joshi ji.
Pranam to Puja Swami Chidananda Guruji, all the other esteemed guests, and my bandhus and bhaginis. Welcome to this event. It is my profound honor and great privilege to be here today on this momentous occasion, the inaugural ceremony of SAGE. I want to extend my congratulations and also thanks to all the efforts that have been put together by all these volunteers to put this organization into motion. As of course, Swamiji's guidance and his effort effort has been there for all of us to continue on this journey. But many of you have also spent hours to get this into the motion right now. As you all aware, right? I mean, there are many organizations here in the Bay Area, and we all have to work together. But there's always a space for certain things which needs to be filled. And as Swami Tattvamayananda ji was saying, right, we need to bring our unique perspective to the American society, and this is our opportunity to bring Vedanta into the overall walks of life. Vedanta is not just a philosophy, but it is a path to liberation. It is a framework that can bring justice, equality into the American society. And that's where we need help from all of you, or we need to be part of this whole motion so that we can actually contribute and promote Vedanta teaching to the entire community here. Swami Vivekananda ji, as Swami Tattvamayananda ji also was saying, Swami Vivekananda ji found immense practical significance for Advaita Vedanta in solving individual and collective problems of day-to-day life. He has shown how Vedanta can serve as the basis of morality, basis of inner strength, courage, and as the basis of social justice and equality as well. Just to give one small example, if you are walking on the path at the dusk and the light is very dim, and if you see a coiled rope, what the first instinct what you're going to get at is, oh, maybe this is a poisonous snake. You're going to get, your heart is going to start racing. You're going to feel uncomfortable. The overall experience will be very overwhelming, right? But as you put a light with your phone, or if the sun comes, you can see, oh, it was just the mere rope. It was not the snake. So Vedanta is that light, which is sort of taking out of our ignorance. It is giving up that hope and getting us connected to the real truth and innate nature of our being, the real truth, and making sure that we experience that truth. And hopefully all of us will be, taking advantage of this and really trying to learn more. And many of you have already done a lot of studies and you have a lot more knowledge. But of course, SAGE brings additional enlightenment for all of us so that we can be on this journey to take it forward. SAGE is offering us a dedicated space for the study and practice of these teachings, and that will actually dispel the ignorance. It will empower us to our true potential and contribute to the more enlightened world. In a world that often characterized by division and discord, SAGE is a beacon of hope for all of us. It reminds us that true progress lies not just in material advancement, but in cultivating inner wisdom, understanding the shared humanity, and realizing the profound unity that exists. And I have no doubt that Sage will become a vibrant center, attracting seekers from all walks of life, not just limiting to Hindu community, but beyond Hindu community. Hopefully, they can understand and take the advantage of the profound teaching. It'll be a powerful force for positive transformation for both individually and community as a community wise. And once again, thank you for the opportunity to be part of this historic beginning. And I wish Sage Group for every success in its noble mission. Dhanyawad.
Thank you, Ms. Joshi. So it's a pleasure to introduce a dedicated leader and passionate yoga teacher, Mr. Anil Surpur. He's the co-founder and president of Yoga Bharati, a volunteer-run non-profit committed to bringing holistic yoga in its purest form to communities across the US and beyond. Anil Ji holds multiple academic and yoga credentials, including a master's in yoga and an MBA. He's also actively involved in yoga research, serves on the boards of Yoga Bharati and Vyasa USA, and professionally, he is the Director of Engineering at OMIND Sunnyvale. Please join me in giving a warm welcome to Mr. Anil Surpurji, a true ambassador of yogic wisdom and service.
Ram Puja Swami G, Chidambaram Puri Ji, with the blessings of Swami Tattvamananda Ji, invited guests of the dais, respected gurus, sages, pranams to them, respected elders, teachers, and brothers and sisters here. Today, we are blessed to have two great Swamijis with us, of course, with community leaders, on this occasion of inaugural ceremony of Sankara Advaithashramam for global enlightenment. Happy to see that our nation is, even though we had presence here last 10 to 15 years, formally it's been inaugurated with large presence here, with active and dynamic work in the area of Vedanta and Advaita. So, what I'd like to today is Swamiji mentioned about yoga, Vedanta, Vedic knowledge, and Advaita philosophy, ultimately all to strengthen the Sanatana Dharma, right? So, as Swamiji explained on many occasions, Sanatana Dharma is often referred to as eternal way of life, right? It's way of life, we don't consider it as religion. It is not just religion, but it is a universal framework of life encompassing truth, righteousness, peace, love, and eternal knowledge. It is vast, inclusive, and deeply spiritual, right? With this vast ocean, there are two shining streams flow in harmony. That's yoga and Advaita. Now let's see what yoga is. Sage Patanjali, who is considered father of yoga, he gave a very famous sutra, Yoga Chitta Vritti Nirodha. What it means is the cessation of the fluctuations in our mind, removing all the fluctuation and clutterness in the mind. With often yoga is perceived as a physical postures, as Swamiji mentioned, there are a lot of practice being done, completely making the yoga as more adharmic practice. So yoga is in essence a disciplined path toward inner union. That is union of the body, breath, and ultimately the mind. But ultimately the union of individual self, that is jiva, with the universal self, that is Brahman. Yoga has 4 paths. Anybody can practice in these 4 streams. Bhakti Yoga, the path of devotion. Karma Yoga, the path of selfless action or service. Raj Yoga, disciplining your body, mind through yoga postures and pranayama and meditation. And the Jnana Yoga, that is path of wisdom. Now, it is through Jnana Yoga that we arrive at Advaita. Advaita Vedanta, non-dual truth, clearly articulated by Adi Shankaracharya Ji. It teaches us that there is no real separation between the self and the divine. The foundation truth is Aham Brahmasmi, that is, I am the Brahman. It tells us that the world of duality is an illusion, that's Maya. And the highest wisdom lies in the realizing our oneness with the Absolute. Then the question comes up, how to reach that realization? For that through yoga, by purifying your body, controlling your breath, and mastering your mind, and finally, through deep meditation and self-inquiry, we realize the non-dual truth. Yoga is a practice, and Advaita is a realization. Now both become a stream of Sanatana Dharma, and Sanatana Dharma becomes a foundation upon which both rest or flourish. Sanatana Dharma encourages the seeker to inquire, who am I? It supports all paths that lead to the truth. Whenever there is a devotion, action, or contemplation, every seeker is guided toward the same ultimate realization, that is, the self and the supreme are one. That's philosophy, Advaita. The Upanishads, the heart of Sanatana Dharma, speak the language of both yoga and Advaita in the form of Vedanta. They declare Tattvam Asi, that is, you are that, and also Sarvam Khalidvam Brahma, that is, all that exists is the Brahman. They are not philosophical statements. They are the living truth, ultimate through yogic discipline and Advaita insight. With this knowledge and wisdom, Sanatana Dharma can be practiced or being practiced for thousands of years. But in the last 500 years or so, there have been religious wars, as Swami G mentioned, especially institutional religions. They are trying to establish supremacy through violence, oppression, and forced conversion. Now, this poses challenge to the dharmic religions to coexist peacefully and also it's threat to Sanatana Dharma. Many ancient civilizations have perished. You know the world history, right? Many countries which have been flourished with all these dharmic values, they are all perished. So Sanatana Dharma is also under threat. All the organizations where Swamiji mentioned, Dr. Japra mentioned, we need to stand united and deal with this challenge. So Krishna in Bhagavad Gita, that chapter 4, verse 7 and 8, he says, Yada yada isi dharmasya glanir bhavati bharata. Whenever there is decline in dharma, I take rebirth to establish dharma. Right? This is very relevant sloka in current situation. Lord Vishnu took 9 avatars in the past to establish dharma. Now I think it is time for the 10th avatar. Of course, we heard about Kalki avatar and other things, but I would say there are many individuals here living like a common man, or like sages or rishis, or many institutions you heard. I think they are doing the work of Vishnu as one of the avatars. Of course, Kalki, we get to see the effect of that. And they say the Kalki avatar, the sword, coming with the sword to remove that ignorance and establish the path of spirituality. Sage aims to dwell into very roots of this profound discipline, Advaita philosophy. Yoga Bharati is a parent organization of yoga. Swami Vivekananda, again established by influence of Swami Vivekananda in India. Swami Vivekananda Yoga Anusandhana Samsthana. It's a yoga university of 50 years standing with yoga education, yoga research, and yoga therapy, helping hundreds and thousands of people around the world. And we are happy to bring that knowledge here. Yoga Bharati is established a 25 years old organization. We are very inclusive. We have people participating from all the faith, with all the children, through adults and seniors. And we have been establishing yoga teachers training. Yoga education is the main foundation. With education, we bring awareness of yoga. We are close to 5,000 yoga teachers in the area. And we have been spending a lot of effort on the yoga therapy, with all the psychosomatic elements, taking yoga therapy as active therapy. We helped a lot of people with terminal cancer and all the common psychosomatic elements. And we are in the West, so everything has to be believed through research. If there's no empirical data, nobody will believe that yoga helped thousands of years. So yoga research is very essential these days. And we have taken up yoga research, and we have been doing some projects in some of the children with ADHD. Mental health is a big issue post-pandemic. That's where Yoga Bharati has been spending a lot of time and effort. And we're happy to partner with other organizations on the dais here. We have Seva International, HSS, Dr. Japraji with the Hindu Temple, FOG, and the restrictions, Kona is here. So we are all united together, at least that awareness is there. And I will leave you with a famous quote by Swami Vivekananda, why it is important. His Uttishta Jagrata, I think all of you are familiar with that message. We are doing a lot of work together, but we can do only when as an individual we wake up, right? So as Swami mentioned, this is very important, that is, arise, awake, and not stop until our goal is achieved. Thank you, and I'm very happy to be here, and thanks Sage for giving me the opportunity to share my few thoughts on this. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Surpurji. Now it is my pleasure to introduce a passionate storyteller, advocate and communications leader, Ms. Pushpita Prasad. With a global background in media, technology and history, Ms. Prasad brings a unique voice to conversations around India, Hinduism, festivals, caste and human rights. She has published widely on these topics, always aiming to inform, empower and inspire. She serves on the National Steering Committee of KONA, where she works to elevate the voice of minorities and promote grassroots dialogue and advocacy. A seasoned professional in public relations and strategic communications, Ms. Prasad has helped organizations across sectors tell their stories with impact and clarity. Now based in the Bay Area, she continues to blend her deep cultural knowledge with her communications expertise to build understanding and bring positive change. Please join me in welcoming Ms. Pushpita Prasad.
Dhanyavad. I have to say I'm so honored to be here in the presence of Pujya Swami Ji on this August stage with these August community leaders. And I thank you all for coming. A huge congratulations to Sage for this auspicious start today. I think this is very, very much needed. I'm in the presence of so many dharmic leaders that I am going to focus on the work we do. So I'm on the board of the Coalition of Hindus of North America, KONA. We are in the presence of some great leaders. We are a small, young organization. We just completed 5 years. But I think we are very why did we decide that an organization like this was needed? Because, you know, the Bay Area and the United States as a whole is home to many wonderful organizations that are doing very deep dharmic and spiritual work. So a hint lies in our name. It's the Coalition of Hindus of North America. Our focus is very much on the United States and Canada. Obviously, Bharat is our mothership, but we really realized that as a community, we are now second, third generation here, and our children, mine included, they think of themselves as Americans. Bharat is obviously a mother lode. It's the inspirational thing, but they are people who follow Sanatan Dharma who are not even from Bharat. You know, we have members from Bangladesh, we have members from the Caribbean, members from Nepal, and again, the spiritual Matrabhumi is there. But as a practical level, how do we as Sanatani, how do we as dharmic people interact in our day-to-day lives, whether it's your workplace, whether it's your school, whether it's your city, the politician who represents you. There is an intersection of your life and dharma, or there should be, if there isn't. And where that intersection is different for everybody. But it's very important for us to remember that this does impact us. I'm saying a lot of words. What do I mean by this? Imagine you are the parent of a 10-year-old girl, and you go to her school. You're a mother, and you're waiting outside her school to pick her up. School is over. An hour goes by. You have no idea where your daughter is. No indication. And now, after 2 years, after 2 hours of worrying, frantically asking around, you get a call saying your daughter has been taken away by Child Protective Services. And she is being taken away by Child Protective Services because you don't know this at the time. But a very normal spiritual practice like the head oil bath has been mistaken for something very much more sinister. You spend 6 to 8 months fighting to get your daughter back and to basically fight off the label of being a child molester of your own child. This is a real life incident that we dealt with in New York. Imagine you are on a Zoom work call, right? And you have a picture in the background up on the wall. It could be your parents, it could be a picture of a Devi Devta. There's a swastika on it, and you get reported to HR for it. And HR gives you a talking to. You try to make a case. Maybe you're very eloquent and you can explain what's going on. Maybe you're not very eloquent and you struggle. We have helped 3 or 4 of our members in situations like this. Just a few months ago, the state of Virginia came this close to passing a law which would have put a 3-year prison term for anybody found displaying a swastika. And that bill had sailed through their assembly. It had sailed through all the committees. Obviously, we were a little late discovering it, but in one weekend, we got 1,000 Virginians to email their senators and say, hey, what's going on? Do you guys understand what's going on? The conversation. So this is what grassroots advocacy means, right? We come from a tradition of storytelling. I call myself a proud storyteller, katha. That the kathakars have had a very important role to play in our tradition. But somehow in the last 100 years, I think we have lost control of our narrative, our katha. And as a result, as Chapraji said, those who don't tell, if you're not at the table, you're on the menu. And we are actually on the menu. We've been on the menu for a while. And it's really important that more people understand that we are on the menu and get off the menu and come on the table. That's not going to happen without effort. It's nobody's job to come ask you. So it's not your mayor's job. It's not your assembly person's job. It's not your senator's job to ask you what is your problem. It is your job to use the avenues that they have set up for them to, and speak up for yourself. It is their job to listen to you. It's not their job to come knocking on your door. So when we talk about these laws, people are horrified. How is this possible? It's possible because we are not speaking up for ourselves. Dharma is wonderful, but dharma also needs to be explained. And many times we are not speaking even to our own kids. So one of our big focus areas is the younger generation. We have a Hindu parenting arm of our work, where we are trying to help parents understand what their kids are going through. Hindu kids face a very, very high level of bullying in their schools for practicing their faith, whether it's a vegetarian diet, whether it's, wearing a bindi, a tilak, wearing a rakhi, or even standing up for Hinduism when it's taught through a very, very bad lens in their classes, right? I'm sure all of you have kids. In 7th grade, all your children learn about Hinduism basically as caste, cows, and conflict, I like to call it. We may shrug it off and say it doesn't matter, but it does. Because think about it, for every other thing, you tell your child, pay attention to your textbook, pay attention to your teacher, look at the New York Times as a respected resource, but not on Hinduism. That's confusing to your child. They don't believe you, right? They're like, okay, why my parents says it's all good, but suddenly it's not good. So we don't understand these issues our kids are going through, and we are not. We always a generational gap is there in every culture. We are also dealing with a cultural gap. So to bridge that gap, it's very important to become part of expert communities, become part of like-minded people who want to make a difference. Long story short, Kona is a platform where I think we're a volunteer and organization where 2 plus 2 is 6, right? Not because we have some magic going on, but basically it's the power of passionate individuals who want to take action. So we talked a lot about dharma, many, many different beautiful aspects, spirituality, yoga, the great history that we come from. But I think we are also focused on the karma yoga part of it, right? So I'm not a dharma guru, or I haven't read a lot of scriptures. But one lesson of the Gita really jumped out to me and stuck to me, which was when Arjun was scared to fight, right? He had a horrible task ahead of him. He has to fight his own gurus, his own brothers, his own family. I mean, we struggle even to fight a stranger on the street or our colleagues who are not very dear to us, right? If tomorrow we leave my job, won't see them again. But still, I don't want to be nasty or don't want to take them on. Arjun is obviously hesitant to do that because he's being asked to take on his beloved gurus and family. What does Krishna tell him? In my understanding, and I'm happy to be corrected, Krishna does not tell Arjun, he tells Arjun that it is his job to do this work, right? That is his karma. And he cannot just leave his karma to somebody else. So, in my very non-dharmic understanding of it, it's like Arjun was not given the out that, just worship me, Krishna, and I'll fix everything. Arjun had to do his own karma. That was what Krishna told him. You do your karma, even if it's not, and I can't guarantee you the phal either. So many times we get caught up in, I only want to speak up if I am guaranteed success. There is no such guarantee in life. The only guarantee we can give is to speak up, and that is what we at Kona have been trying to do. And again, we always like to share the success stories. So all the examples that I gave at the beginning, they did have a happy ending. There are other cases where we have spoken up and we've not been able to resolve the problem. But there is no alternative to speaking up. We live in a country where we must speak up for our voices to be counted. Whenever we talk to our lawmakers, they tell us, we don't hear from you guys, we don't understand you. That's on us. We have to speak up and make ourselves understood. And I would like to use the beautiful beginning today to say, let us all come together as a coalition, right? This is something we definitely like to do. This past weekend, we just had noted filmmaker Vivek Agnihotriji in town to talk about Bengal files. Kona brought him here, but I was very, very happy to see Dr. Jabra, bring the community together at his house to host him, to spread his work further. The Bengali community hosted one dinner with him. The Kashmiri community hosted a dinner with him. So that's the coalition in our name. We're a small group. We can't do everything, but we definitely want to be the catalyst to help people do what they want. So I've talked a lot. I look forward to continuing this conversation, to continuing this Dharam Yuddh with Sage, and with all the great leaders gathered here. And I look for anybody who wants to do the kind of work we do, right? Grassroots focused, action oriented. And we have a space, whether you're a senior citizen or a high school kid, we have everybody in between. We have chapters on UC Berkeley and Rutgers. Think about that. So I invite you all to join us, check us out, and let us all fight for Dharma. Dhanyavad, Dharmo Rakshati Rakshita.
Thank you, Ms. Prasad. Now it's my pleasure to introduce a remarkable individual, Ms. Rakhi Israni. She is the president of Excel Test Prep, an accomplished attorney, and currently serves as the Vice President of Government and Public Relations for Seva International USA. Her life has been a continuous journey of service, leadership, and mentorship. Ms. Israni was the first national president of the Hindu Students' Council, and today she serves on the boards of several national non-profits. For over 30 years, she's mentored youth to become confident, community-focused leaders. Please join me in giving a warm welcome to Ms. Rakhi Israni.
Namaste. In the blessed presence of Puja Swami Ji and blessings of Puja Tattvamananda Swami Ji and the company of all our distinguished guests, I feel deeply honored to be able to represent Seva at this inaugural ceremony of the Sankara Advaithashramam for Global Enlightenment. Today is more than just the beginning of an institutional organization. It's really the planting of more seeds for global spiritual awakening, something that's very deeply needed in this society. And the establishment of SAGE here in the Silicon Valley, a place where technology aims to connect the world, reminds us that true connection really begins with understanding our own fundamental unity. At Seva International, we've witnessed firsthand how service or selfless seva becomes a bridge between spiritual wisdom and practical compassion. And for over 2 decades, Seva has served communities across America and beyond, and guided by this idea that service to humanity is service to the divine. Now, Sage's vision of fostering interfaith harmony through Advaita philosophy resonates very deeply with that mission. When we truly understand the non-dual nature of existence, that all beings are manifestations of the same universal consciousness, service becomes not just an obligation, but a natural expression of our true nature. In these times of division and uncertainty, the world thirsts for the very knowledge and the very wisdom that comes from our Sanatana Dharma. And our own traditions don't ask us to abandon diverse traditions. Actually, instead, it does quite the opposite. It asks us to recognize the underlying unity that connects us all. And this is not a mere philosophy. This is a practical path for peace, both inner and outer. When we see the divine in ourselves, we see the divine in everyone else. And when we understand our own interconnectedness, serving those in need is not just a duty or just another act of charity. It's the most natural expressions of our true self. The Hindu ideal of Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam is really just a practical application of that idea. When our volunteers, when Seva's volunteers serve hot meals after a hurricane, when they tutor students in underserved communities, when they empower women in remote communities, they do so with the understanding that the person they are serving is not different than themselves, is not separate from themselves. They're serving the divine in another form. As SAGE embarks on this journey, we all stand ready to support your noble mission. Together, we can demonstrate that ancient wisdom and modern science service can walk hand in hand. That enlightenment and engagement with the world are not opposing paths, but complementary expressions of a life lived in truth. May this organization become what its name suggests, a true source of wisdom for global enlightenment, may be a lighthouse that guides seekers towards their highest potential. May it illuminate the path to a more compassionate and unified world. I offer my heartfelt congratulations to the SAGE team and my deepest gratitude to the revered Swami Jis for their blessings and guidance. May we all be instruments of peace, wisdom, and service in this noble endeavor. Thank you.
So with your permission, and especially with the permission of the stage manager, let me tell only one thing before a vote of thanks. That's why I took forcefully this mic. Today is a special day for us. Actually, when we thought about an inaugural ceremony, just we looked into the calendar and decided this day it can be done. But today is a special day for all of us. Shravana Paurnami. What is the message of the day? See, one is we are doing Raksha Bandhan. Raksha Bandhan have two aspects. One, it is the love and care, and it is the very base of family concept. That is sisters tying Raksha Bandhan to brothers. But actually, if you look into the history of Raksha Bandhan, then we will see great gurus. Gurus tied this Raksha to the people. That is, it is a sign of or a symbol of protection and of course blessing for facing the life in a most practical and positive way. But before that, we have to remember something else. To give Raksha to others, we must be internally powerful. Without having that inner power, we cannot work outside. So this is a day when we reinvest ourselves. We are reinvesting ourselves to sadhanas. That is when we got Gayatri. As a symbol of Gayatri, we were given holy threads, that is Yajnapavita, and this is the day annually we will change that. Sannyasis don't have Yajnapavita. We are throwing the Yajnapavita before accepting sannyasa in river or a flowing water. And therefore we want to tie Rakhi and all. But we always teach, we always promote these rituals. So first, have inner power through our own upasanas. That is why we are wearing Yajnopavita. We are changing Yajnopavita on this holiday of Shravana Paurnami. And the same day, we are showing our love and care to the world. So accidentally, there is nothing like accident. For an effect, there is a cause, and without cause, no effect will happen. So however, this day happened to be the inaugural day of Sage. And Sage must work not for Malayalis, not for Gujaratis, not for Indians, but for Bharatiyas who are coming from different parts of the world. Our concern is only one thing, and that is Hindu Sanatana. Namaste.
Thank you, Swamiji. Now we are coming to the end of this program and the final vote of thanks. We'd like to thank Pujya Swami Tattvamayānanda and Pujya Swami Chidanandapuri for all their blessings. As you know, Chidanandapuri Swamiji has traveled all the way from Kerala. Now, thank you to Ms. Sujata Joshi, Dr. Ramesh Chapra, Mr. Anil Surpur, Ms. Pushpita Prasad, and Ms. Rakhi Israni for gracing the occasion. Thank you to our volunteers, Yogesh Ji, Manoj Ji, Hari Ji, Shivanandan Ji, Sunil, and Krishna Ji. Thank you to Sri Lalita and Pavitra for the prayer song. Thank you to Utpal Ji for helping with the hall. Tirupati Bhimas, thank you for the food. And special thanks to all the audience members, online viewers and supporters from across the globe. Jai Sitaram.
We can, I think, with the Shanti Mantra we can continue, no? Sarve Bhavantu.
Om Sarve Bhavantu Sukhina Sarve Santu Niramaya सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत्। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः।